this is Kelly Hill Yoga. Welcome back. Today is part 1 of this awesome little 2-part hip series I'm doing. Part 1 is all about being dynamic in our hip joints, and part 2 is that other side of it, that more yin side, will be a lot more static stretches. So be on the lookout for that video as well. If you want to do kind of a Vin to yin type thing, play around, maybe do this one first, followed by yin, or vice versa. It's your choice as always, or if you want to take this across 2 days, you're more than welcome to as well. And when you're ready, let's get started laying on our back. So excited for this little hip series. I know I always say that with all of my practices, but I just thought it was really fun to play around with finding balance with fun dynamic movement. So more sequencing, more fluid flow with our hips today. And then tomorrow, or whenever you choose to do this, we're all about finding that sensation and shape within yin. So today we will start, let's take the feet nice and wide as the mat. Then gently let those knees come together. And take the time here to do a gentle tuck of the pelvis. When I say tuck, that just means pulling that tailbone up towards the sky so that low back is really nice and grounded. Tuck your shoulders. And then find somewhere where your arms want to hang out. Maybe it's out at your sides. I think I'm going to rock and roll with up and overhead today. Been kind of nursing a little strain in my shoulder, so this just feels super awesome today. And then let's close our eyes. Start to bring ourselves into this practice today, focusing on our hips. Lots of fun dynamic movement, strength postures with this awesome sequencing, this beautiful day. So let's start by just gently inhale through the nose and exhale. And repeat this. Just find what feels right to you, not overthinking it, over trying to complicate it. Just really what's primitive. But when we focus on our breath like this, it just really lets us pull ourselves inward. We start to internalize with that beautiful cosmic energy. We inhale, turn it into us and ourselves, beautiful internal energy that is of our own individual. And then we send it back out into the world. So let's just slowly work on that breath. And as you do so, with each inhale and exhale, kind of settle more into this place. So as you breathe in, and then exhale, let yourself get a bit more heavy. Just gently letting that energy enter. And then allow that tension to release with the exhale. A few more breaths here. And you'll notice all these layers kind of ebb away as you start to settle within yourself, settle in the space, settle on your mat. Not always easily done when you're at home. So if you still have some tiny distractions that might be pulling you outside of this space, just take a moment to acknowledge it, see it's there, and then kind of just let it fade away. Now, on our next inhale, we'll take a nice deep breath, really fill ourselves up. And exhale, sigh it out. Repeat 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. One more time. This time breathe all the way down into your hips. Exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. Now let's just kind of let the knees gently swish from side to side, little windshield wiper. And then just for a few cycles of breath, we'll bring the soles of the feet together and come into this reclined butterfly. Just let the knees fall over to the sides, not letting them just drop so you get that kind of shooting pain or anything. Gently let them come down to the sides. If this is too intense, you're more than welcome to grab some blocks and have them up under the legs, but we'll only be here for a moment just to take our energy down into our hips. So let's bring our hands all the way down below the belly. In fact, let's bring them down to our pelvis. And just start to breathe into this space, into this area. Maybe even taking a little mantra into the mind. Just whatever you feel in this moment. Maybe I am able. I can. Just something that feels right to you in this moment. Wonderful. Let's grab the sides of the legs, help those knees come back into center, gentle windshield wiper again. And now let's hug the knees into the chest, Apanasana, gentle rock from side to side. Beautiful. Bring the palms to the kneecaps and let's just do some circles here. Just kind of feeling how our hips are today. And we said dynamic, so lots of movement in our hip joint today with flexion, extension, and then abducting, adduction. So lots and lots of movement with the hips today. Not like where I say like lots of movement where you're going to be cardiovascularly just like taxed, but I just mean getting some dynamic movement in our hips. So let's see where they're at right now today. So just gentle circles, however you want. If you want to take both knees to one side, do some circles, you're more than welcome to. Or if you want to take big circles out to the sides, just make sure whatever direction or shape that you choose, you kind of take it to the opposite to level yourself out, balance. Wonderful. Few more circles here. Awesome. Now let's bring the legs, knees bent, shins parallel to the ground, okay? Almost like we're doing this opposite tabletop. We're just going to do a little core activation. And we're going to take the palms of our hands, press them into our thighs, right? And then press your thighs into your hands as you pull your belly button down. Awesome. A little activation here. Staying strong, pressing palms into thighs, thighs into palms. It's counterintuitive, feeling everything tighten, strengthen. You're doing awesome. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Stretch the legs out, arms up, overhead. Beautiful. Then we'll bring the soles of the feet back down to the mat. And we'll set up for some bridge rolls here. So let's bring our palms down to our sides. Gentle activation. Inhale to pull the hips up or drive them up as you drive through the feet. Exhale, slowly lower down. Awesome. Repeat this. So we drive that tailbone up towards the sky. Exhale, slowly lower down. Almost like you're peeling the spine up and off the mat as you inhale. Exhale, slowly roll that spine back down onto the mat. Beautiful. Repeat with your breath. Slow as you like. As purposeful as you like. Just really strengthening our hips as we do some wonderful extension. As we drive through the feet. Beautiful. And on your next one, we'll hold at the top for just a moment. Big inhale, squeeze up at the top. Imagine there's a ball or block between the thighs, everything to midline, strong and stable. You're doing awesome. And we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slowly lower down. Knees into the chest. Rock it out from side to side. Beautiful. And then however you want to get there, we'll make our way to tabletop. If you want to rock and roll up, you're more than welcome to. but we'll make our way into tabletop. So our hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. We're just going to start by doing a few rounds of cat and cow. So inhale to cow, drop the belly, gently lift the chin just a bit. Exhale, roll through the spine, tuck that chin. And repeat, inhale to drop the belly. Exhale, cat. And then this is where I welcome you to do any little extra tidbits, any little bits of movement you want to do. Since we are rocking and rolling with the hips today, maybe doing some hip circles. Yeah, let's do that. Just circling the hips. And then, in fact, let's walk the hands out about 6 inches in front of the shoulders. And then we'll do some hip movement here by dropping the hips down, circling around. Beautiful. Playing in both directions. If this is too intense on the spine, you're more than welcome to just do hip circles and tabletop. But just match that breath to movement. Find what feels good. Find what feels right to you. Awesome. Then we'll make our way back to tabletop. Tuck the toes, shift the hips up and back into our first downward dog of the day. Walk it out a little bit. Staying strong. Find movement here again. And then let's come to a place where we can be nice and still once you get all those little shimmies and shakes out. And just breathe. 3 good cycles of breath here. Awesome. And on your next inhale, we'll take our left foot, or in fact, walk both feet to be centered, close together, nice bend in the knees. Inhale, reach our right foot up and open up the hip. So letting that right heel come to the left glute. Awesome. And then we're going to take that right knee nice and slow up towards the nose. Beautiful. Inhale, bring that right foot up and open again, that hip. This time take it to the nose again as you shift into plank, and then step that right foot up between the hands. Wonderful. Come into this runner's lunge. We'll take our left hand, leave it on the mat, pivot the hips down so we come into this like revolved skandasana, or revolved side lunge, and we're going to shift our feet so now they face the side of our mat. Awesome. Right arm reaches up and overhead, press into the hand and this foot, your right foot, to lift the hips. Awesome. Staying strong here. Beautiful. All those contact points have energy. You're doing awesome. And now let's exhale, slowly lower these hips down as this right hand comes down. Inhale, lift the hips up again. Awesome. Right hand comes down, transition back to that runner's lunge. Yogi's choice here, if you want to do a vinyasa, you're more than welcome. Chaturanga to up dog or cobra, your choice, just whatever you want. But we will all meet in downward dog. Awesome. And then we'll take that little sequence to the other side. So walk those feet together again. And then this time lift the left leg up. Open up that left hip by driving that left heel to the right glute. Driving that knee up towards the sky. Awesome. Exhale, bring that knee to nose. Shift into plank strong. Inhale, left leg comes back up, three-legged dog, reopening the hip. Exhale, knee to nose. And then with power, step up into this runner's lunge. Awesome. Right hand comes down as we shift into this revolved Skandasana. Left arm reaches up. Power into all these contact points. Really trying to lift those hips up as high as we can. Couple rounds of breath here. You're doing wonderful. Remember to breathe through it. Your breath has the ability to calm. Awesome. Exhale, lower the hips down as the left arm comes down. Inhale, lift back up, power back through. Awesome. Don't worry, everything's on fire for me too. Beautiful. Exhale, bring that left hand down. Once again, yogi's choice. Vinyasa if you wish, or just make your way to downward dog. And that is where we will all meet. On our next inhale, let's bend the knees, take the gaze forward, big step up to the top of the mat. Wonderful. Let's inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe even take ragdoll. Sway from side to side. And take the time here, not rushing through it, wondering what the next thing is. Just really be present here. Come back to that breath. I'm going to come to face you all for this next little thing. So we're in this forward fold. Release the arms if you were holding on to them. Generous bend in the knees as we walk the feet closer together. Now we'll take our right leg and walk it over to the left on the knife edge. You'll feel an awesome stretch in the right outside of the hip, also known as the IT band. And the more you press your hips back, the more you'll feel it. Awesome. Bring that right foot back to meet the left. And this time, take that left foot, walk it out to the right and behind that, out to the right and behind that right foot. Don't worry, right and left, still struggle with it. I'm one of those people that still has to hold their hands up to see the little L. My apologies for causing confusion. Just stretching out this IT band. Awesome. Bring this right foot back to meet the left. Take the feet nice and wide, about as wide as your mat. Turn the toes out, and we'll drop down into Malasana. Awesome. Beautiful yogi stretch here. Really find some release. A couple cycles of breath to let the body recalibrate with the mind. Just notice where you're at. Notice where your energy is right now. Check in. If you're struggling, you're still having one of those days, know that that's okay. Everyone has them. I have them. Sometimes I'm just like not feeling this. That's okay. You're still here. That's what matters. Or just take child's pose for the next little bit of time we're together. It's just really about spending time with yourself. Awesome. Let's bring our hands back down to the mat. Re-lift those hips up. Awesome. And then lower those hips down. And again, keeping a nice flat back down and into Malasana. Beautiful. Hands come back down to the ground. Lift those hips up again. Exhale, drop the hips down. A little dynamic movement in this Malasana. Awesome. Hands come down, hips come up. Exhale, sink down into Malasana again. You all are doing great. Last one, hips up. Exhale, sink it down and into Malasana. Beautiful. You might notice that you're getting a little bit deeper with each round. If not, that's okay too. Beautiful. Lift those hips back up. Walk the feet back to about hip width. Inhale to halfway lift. Nice flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, root to rise, press through the feet, power up. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, hands to our heart. Awesome. Couple of cycles of breath here. Check in where you're at. Adjust your pants, your shirt, whatever you need to do. Grab some water. And we'll just kind of gently soften the gaze, maybe even close the eyes if your balance will allow it. Deep breaths. Rebalance, calibrate. Awesome. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, fold forward. Just going to go through a few half salutations. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, power up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to our heart. Awesome. 2 more times doing that, matching breath to movement just to get our heart up a little bit. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward again. Inhale, root to rise, arms up overhead. Exhale, palms to our heart space. Beautiful. Roll those shoulders down and away if they're starting to creep up to the ears. Last one, inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, root to rise, arms up, overhead. Exhale, palms to our heart. Beautiful. Now, we're going to find our balance here. I'm going to come to face you all once again so you can see this. We'll have a nice little micro bend in the knees. We're not locking anything out. Find your balance as you shift into the weight into your left foot without popping this hip out. So we're keeping everything stacked and strong. Then we're going to come up on the toes of our right foot. Find your balance before this foot lifts up off the ground. Find a drishti or focal point in front of you on the ground, or if there's a wall right in front of you. Flex that right foot, lift it up off the mat in order to lift that knee. Beautiful. Holding here, stay strong. Now we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take our right foot and shift it out to the right. So a little internal rotation. Beautiful. Come back to center. And then take that right foot, shift it to the left a little. Notice that hip open up. Awesome. Follow that opening into this figure 4 and then sit the hips back into pigeon chair or figure 4 chair, whatever you want to call it. Strong and stable here, keeping that focus, keeping that balance. Power through that left foot again. Re-lift that right knee. Awesome. Hinge at the hips as you tip forward and step back into crescent. So your right foot comes back. High lunge. Awesome. Inhale. The arms are up. Really driving this right hip forward as the left hip comes back. So nice and square to the front, or square as you can get it. Arms overhead to get an additional stretch, playing with our balance. Awesome. Inhale, find a little bit more height in your spine. Exhale, open up to warrior 2. Beautiful. Different variation in our hip opening. Drive this left knee to this front left corner of your mat as we sink down. Shoulders aren't scrunched up by our ears. Pulled down and away. Beautiful. Inhale, left arm reaches up and back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, back to warrior 2. Straighten in this front leg, straight, relative term, need to keep a little micro bend. Reach that left arm forward, long in both sides of the body, transition into triangle. So this left hand can come to your shin, or maybe you're even only on your thigh, where that forearm is resting on your thigh. This is okay. Wherever that hand is, maybe even grabbing a block and having it under. Try and spiral your shoulders up towards the sky, or reach that heart up towards the sky. You'll notice everything open up. Do not forget about that back leg though. Integrity all the way down to the knife edge. Beautiful. Doing wonderful. And now we'll power through this front leg. Let's do a little hop with the back. Close about half the distance. Power through by bringing this left hand onto the ground in front of the left foot. Lift that right leg up and find half moon. Beautiful. Gaze down onto the mat or onto the ground. Help you feel nice and grounded. That right leg is not just hanging there. Using all those muscles on the outside of that right leg to activate, lift the hip. Stay for the inhale. Beautiful. Exhale, forward fold. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Ride this energy out. Maybe sway from side to side. Letting those knees bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, root to rise. Arms up, overhead. Exhale, hands to our heart. Beautiful. Same thing on this other side. Now, we're going to transition the weight into the right leg, not letting that hip pop out. Stacked and strong. Find your balance, then peel that left foot off the mat. So you're not lifting the foot and then trying to balance. Find it before, then lift that left leg up. Beautiful. Transition that left foot to the left, little rotation in the hip, then to the right, opening up that left hip. Figure four as it crosses over the right thigh. Sink the hips back for this figure four chair. Find your balance as you move with this. Beautiful. Staying strong. Maybe reach those arms up and overhead for a little counterbalance or a little challenge. Awesome. One side's going to be different than the other, and it's okay if it is. Power back through that right foot. Relift the left knee. Transition as you lean forward. Big step back to that crescent lunge. Awesome. So our right leg is forward, left is back, and this beautiful high lunge. Squaring these hips off by trying to pull everything forward. Beautiful opening in our left hip. Drive through that left heel though. Stay strong in that back leg. Awesome. Inhale. Exhale. Open up. Warrior two. Beautiful. Sinking it down. Strong breaths. Exhale. Let those shoulders pull down and away from the ears. Awesome. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Right arm reaches up and back. Exhale, back to warrior two. Straighten in this front leg. Shift it forward, long and strong both sides of the body as you make your way to triangle. Awesome. Spiraling that heart up towards the sky, really opening up the shoulders and not dumping in the right side body. So keep it long on both sides. Awesome. Just a couple of breaths here. You're doing great. Imagine those hips are pulling back towards the back of your space. Bend in this front knee. Make your way into that half moon by powering up. Right arm comes down onto the ground. Or if you want to take it up a notch, you can have that right hand hover. But we have strength and stability in that whole entire lifted leg. Not letting anything just hang and dangle. Full body awareness. Beautiful. Making yourself literally stronger mentally and physically. Right now with lots of multitasking. Stay for the inhale. Awesome. Exhale. Forward fold. Beautiful. Maybe gently sway from side to side again. Releasing everything out. Beautiful. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank, right to downward dog if you want, or vinyasa if you'd like. Chaturanga to up dog. Last one of the practice, I promise. Beautiful. And let's kind of start to ride this energy downstream. So we'll do so in this last little bit in downward dog. Heart is above our head right now, so really working. Our heart was already pumping from doing all those big movements. So now it's working even harder because it's playing against gravity to make sure that blood flow is up into our brain as well. Next inhale, maybe find a little bit more height in those hips. Exhale, come down onto the knees. Beautiful. Sit back onto the heels. Awesome. Just taking a moment here. Now we'll take our knees nice and wide. Awesome. As wide as your mat. And then we'll walk the hands forward into this like wide knee puppy. Big toes are together. Come into this beautiful wide leg puppy. Everything pulls down towards the mat. Beautiful full body stretch. And pull that tailbone up towards the sky, and you'll really notice a beautiful opening in the hips. Awesome. Now slowly make your way onto your belly. We'll bring, and sorry if this messes with my mic a little bit, we'll bring our forehead to rest on your hands. But I'm going to keep my head up because I don't want to talk where my microphone, I'm screaming at you all. So, nice and strong here. Hips are heavy, legs extended. Drive those heels up towards the sky. Now, we're going to activate our right glute and lift that right heel up towards the sky. Yikes. Charlie horse. Exhale, slowly lower down. Repeat. On the left side. Left leg up. Exhale, slowly lower down. Repeat 2 more times on each side. Right heel up. Exhale, slowly lower down. Repeat. Exhale, lower down. 1 more time. Exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Let those legs swish and swoosh side to side. And then we'll bring our legs down to the mat. Awesome. And now let's make our way onto our belly. So all you have to do is flippy flop over to the other side. Awesome. And we'll take both soles of the feet to the mat. Cross the right ankle over the left. Finding this figure 4 again. Thread the needle here. Just stretching out that hip. A few moments on this side as we kind of head downstream. This is a supine pigeon. So if it feels great to have the sole of this foot on the mat and just have your hand gently press on the thigh to open it up, more than welcome to. No way is better than the other. Just find what feels good here to open the hip up. And then we'll gently let our left foot come back down to the mat if it was lifted. And then kind of fun little twist here. Gently let that right foot come over to the left. We'll play on a spinal twist here. I'm going to bring my arms to cactus arms today. Just letting everything nice and open. Beautiful. Unravel those legs. Bring the knees into the chest. Apanasana. And we'll switch sides. So our left ankle crosses over that right thigh. Lift that right foot up if you wish, if you want to take it a little bit deeper into this supine pigeon. Beautiful. Slowly bring the sole of that right foot back down to your mat. And then gently let that left foot come over to the right. Awesome. Cactus arms again if you want, or T. Doing just a few static stretches at the end of our practice so we can kind of take all this energy. You'll notice your heart is kind of starting to slow down. Your breath is starting to slow. And it's like we kind of went through all these rapids through movement, and now we're at that fun part, heading downstream. After all that movement, we have all this natural boost in our hormones. So we get to ride it out downstream. Let our body and mind catch up with each other before we make our way to Shavasana and then into the rest of our day. And as I mentioned, you can do this, like I said, this beautiful part 1 of this hip series. You can do it before or after part 2. It does not mean you must do this first. It's just how I filmed them today. Let's unravel those legs, hug the knees into the chest, and then choose your version of happy baby. And we're going to hold this happy baby for a little while. So maybe grab the big toes or the outside of the feet, or if you can't reach that, the back of the thighs works too, just as good. And I know I say it almost every practice, but it really does not matter the shape. It's more about the feeling of the posture. I mean, we all look completely different, right? So why would we all be expected to be the exact same in any posture? So do what feels right here. And if happy baby isn't your jam and you want to do something else, please do. I'm just here kind of to guide you, give suggestions. You're more than welcome to be like, nope, not today, or I'm not feeling it. I think I'll grab water instead. No judgment. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly extend the legs, make our way into Shavasana. If you want to take that constructive rest pose that we began our practice with, you're more than welcome to. Let's bring our palms however you wish. Maybe you want to feel a little bit more grounded, have them over the belly, one over the heart, one over the belly. Like I said, I'm kind of nursing shoulder injury, and it just feels awesome to have my arms up and overhead. So find some space to settle here. Get any last little fidgets, movements out. Maybe if you need to like open the hands, flex the feet, and then find that release, you're more than welcome to. There is no rules to you have to instantly be in this like meditative state for Shavasana. Our minds are these like constant running tickers. So if you're in Shavasana and like you have like your mind kind of wanders, just reel it back in. Reel it back in. No judgment, like, I ruined it. Nothing like that, right? Just let it happen, let it go, let it move on its way. Don't let it overwhelm you or affect you. Hint, hint, take that off the mat as well, my yogis. Anyways, so let's just come back to that breath and observe. Just see where you're at. If you're still in that same headspace you were at the beginning of your practice, that's okay. Still here, right? Or if you're feeling just a beautiful release, your body's nice and heavy right now, that's okay too. So let's just gently find that breath. Find that feeling. that comes with that breath. As we inhale this wonderful cosmic energy in, make it ourselves, part of us. And for those of you who might be struggling, sometimes just gently telling yourself, inhale, exhale, almost like a metronome with that rhythm, can be just as calming. You're more than welcome to stay here as long as possible. This is you and your time. And if no one's bothering you yet, heck yes, take advantage. I have a tiny little one that's notorious, so I try to take full advantage when I can. Thank you so much for spending this beautiful day with me on this part 1 of this hip series with Kelly Hill Yoga. I'm Kelly. Please do not forget to like. If you liked this video, comment below. If you're liking this hip series or if you have suggestions of something else with the little series you want to do, look out for part 2. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I appreciate all of you. Show yourself some beautiful grace and gratitude for being here. Thank you, and I love you.